Welcome to Proteal's production channel. Do you want to subscribe to my channel before traveling the climax of knowledge again today? Don't forget to click on the bell. Let's start. Karahan Khan, who once ruled the ancient Kyrgyz mountains on the Mount of God and announced the glory of his people, came to the throne. His heroism cannot be explained verbally, his wealth could not be described. His fame had reached the stars in the sky. Begins with the words, Manasči, the Kyrgyz national epic. It is known for being the longest epic in the world. The sum of all versions is 2 million line. Let's get to know a little Kyrgyz before we go deep into the epic Manasči. Studies on the origin of the word Kyrgyz are in the direction that the word derives from the word 40uz. This means 40 tribes. 40 light filtering around the sun-like shape in the flag of Kyrgyzstan refers to this. In the Yenisei and Orhan inscriptions, which are the oldest written documents of the Turks, the Kyrgyz are mentioned among the Turkish tribes whose history dates back a long time. The Kyrgyz, which were under the Soviet Union until 1991, gained their independence under the leadership of Akayev in October 1991. The currency of the country is Kyrgyzstan som. 1 Kyrgyzstan som is equivalent to $0.013. Kyrgyzstan was the 9th poorest country in the former Soviet Union, and is today the 2nd poorest country in Central Asia after Tajikistan. 25% of the country's population lives below the poverty line. Kyrgyzstan's minimum wage is 1,200 Kyrgyzstani som per month, $15, in 2019. This is a very low salary. But people usually work above this figure. The average monthly salary is 15,000 soms, $190. As the production in the country is generally low, the products coming from abroad are sold in the markets. That's why the market is expensive for the locals. The people usually shop cheap from street vendors. The language used in the country is Kyrgyz. It is considered a dialect belonging to the Kypchak group of Turkish dialects. In a survey conducted in 2005 found 50,000 common word between Kyrgyz and Turkish. Turks can easily get along with people after a short acclimation period in Kyrgyzstan. Also, the use of Russian is still very common in the country. Kyrgyzstan's population is estimated at 6 million in 2019. Kyrgyzstan is divided into 7 regions, administered by appointed governors. Bishkek is the capital of Kyrgyzstan, and its second largest city is Osh. Other regions are rural settlements. Bishkek is a city of wide boulevards and marble-faced public buildings combined with numerous Soviet-style apartment blocks surrounding interior courtyards. There are also thousands of smaller privately built houses, mostly outside the city center. Streets follow a grid pattern, with most flanked on both sides by narrow irrigation channels, watering innumerable trees to provide shade in the hot summers. Although there are a few museums and squares in the city, it usually attracts the attention of tourists with its bazaars. Osh Bazaar is one of the largest bazaars in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. It is located on the west side of town. At Osh Bazaar, one can buy food products, almost any common household good, clothes, souvenirs, and even musical instruments. Kyrgyz national clothes are sold in the national goods section. It is also possible to find clothes or shoe repairers, and all kinds of hardware. Although it has been a frequent destination for tourists recently, it has been the #1 shopping destination for centuries. Although the Osh market is more accessible and more famous, in fact, the trade is in the Dordoy Bazaar. Dordoy Bazaar is a large wholesale and retail market in Bishkek. It is one of Asia's greatest public marketplaces. It is one of the main entrepôts through which consumer goods from China arrive at shops and markets in Kazakhstan, Russia, and Uzbekistan. According to some economists, this re-export is one of 2 largest economic activities of Kyrgyzstan. Bazaar has been formed with the arrangement of the thousands of containers. You are very likely to get lost in this market. There are dozens of different sections. Although most of them are faded, there are maps showing the market. Most of the goods sold at Dordoy arrive from China, with the second largest source, perhaps 30% of all imports, being Turkey. Osh is the second largest city in Kyrgyzstan, located in the Fergana Valley in the south of the country and often referred to as the capital of the south. It is the oldest city in the country, estimated to be more than 3,000 years old. It is about 5 kilometers from the Uzbekistan border. The Suleiman Mountain is the only World Heritage Site located entirely in the country of Kyrgyzstan. It was once a major place of Muslim and pre-Muslim pilgrimage. The rock rises abruptly from the surrounding plains of the Fergana Valley and is a popular place among locals and visitors, with a splendid view. Suleiman is a prophet in the Quran, and the mountain contains a shrine that supposedly marks his grave. The waters dripping from the caves represent the tears of Prophet Solomon. Since there are those who compare the mountain to a lying pregnant woman, this place is also visited by some women who have no children. The trees and bushes on the mountain are draped with numerous prayer flags, small pieces of cloth that are tied to them. Let us come from the important cultures of Kyrgyzstan to the epic of Manas. The name of the airport in Bishkek is Manas International Airport. The country's airline is Air Manas. Every official government institution like this and that takes care of the Manas epic. It is thought to have started to occur for the first time 1,000 years ago. It is difficult to say exactly one thing as the village has noticed the village versions. But the longest compilation about the Manas epic consists of exactly 2 million lines. Epic describes the events of the Kyrgyz in a heroic and epic way during the political and military struggles that took place in the early 12th century between the Karahitai, who belonged to the Mani religion, and the Karahanites, who were Muslims. The monastery is called people who read tens of thousands of verses as if they were alive. This is a profession and usually passes from father to son. The public invites a monastery to any entertainment. Speaking of Kyrgyzstan, it is impossible to pass without mentioning one of the few writers of the world. Cengiz Aytmatov. He received hundreds of different awards. He is one of the most important writers of the Turkish world. His works have been translated into 176 languages. His words will echo somewhere as the world turns. In addition, most of his books were filmed by Cinema of Turkey. They are the most famous of which is still very popular in Turkey, The Girl with the Red Scarf. I want to end the video with that great dialogue at the end of that book. What was love? Love was goodness, friendship. Love was human labor. If I stayed I wouldn't be able to save myself again. No problem. Her smile is enough for us. Is it a sin if my heart is slipping? If I get stuck in the mud again, will you come and help me? When I took his hand it was so warm. As if I had his heart in my hand. If I took you by the hand, would you come with me? I'm yours. Take me with you. Farewell, Azia. Farewell, my girl, tall like a cypress, with a red scarf. Farewell. My next video, one of the most expensive jobs in the world, about drug development. Stay on track. The sources of all the information said in this video are given in the description section. Please comment to make corrections or additions. If you still have not subscribed, you can subscribe and like the video. Take care yourself. Ciao ciao.